decided the microphone from the green light to the speed trap. Ray Garino and Joe D calls them as they seize them, and you better believe them. Here's relevant news, biased opinion, and outright nonsense regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gasp! It's mechanical trickery never before broadcast over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrilled to the explosive tension as Ray and Joe cuss each other down track, barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands with the devil. All that and so much more at high noon this Sunday on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and the Live Feed, Ray Garino and Joe D. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Hempstead Turnpike to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the no parking on the expressway and no express service on the Parkway sign. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass.
We are bending the strings for you this morning on Motormouth Radio, Long Island's only automotive talk show, with your host, Ray Guarino, and his wingman and XO Joe D over there. He's just playing a slide like nobody's business. Can you talk?
I used to drink. I used to smoke.
All right. Well, anyway, that's Joe playing with Mr. Junior Brown on our intro today. On
maybe this. Oh, you see, it's this microphone. Why not that much?
Yeah, well, look at this.
Oh, yeah, it's unplugged.
The diagnostician takes the mic with the plug hanging off the back.
I didn't even see that.
That's ironically correct.
Well, the story of my life this week is bad connections. But
you and me both.
Don't get me started.
No, I know.
Don't get me started.
Well, that's what this show is for, Joe. We are here to talk about your diagnostic problems and all of that cool stuff, and trying to help you out with your own. You can find us on the web, motormouthradio.com. Follow us on Instagram, Motormouth Radio, or Instagram is real_Motormouth Radio, and Twitter is Motormouth Radio. And if you do want to find out about the music on the show, people have asked in the past, you can look at the past shows, and on each of the show descriptors, where you'll find the download, you'll see the music that's played on each show. We have provided that for the people who cared, and even for the ones who don't. So that's there's a lot of cool stuff up there on the website. Check out, play with the tabs, and just bump around.
If you want to find us, you will find us.
Yeah. So don't
make us come looking for you.
And you can call us at 516-572-7440. We had a historic moment last week, Joe, in Motormouth Radio history, because I know it seems like so long ago, but after the show last week, you and I got to work together.
Oh, yes, that's right. We usually don't get to cross our paths too much, because you live that way and I live this way, and it's kind of hard to meet up. But there were certain things that just needed to be done that require both of our combined talents there.
You got that right.
Yeah.
And we went down to the shop. Now we'll close the saga on this, so we'll keep...
now, by the shop, you mean...
The shop that I'm working at, the shop that's south...
Motormouth Radio East,
south? Pretty much. Well, it's,
Well, you and Chris used to say it? Yeah.
That's actually the one I have at home. This is actually a real shop, but and we had access to the shop, so we were able to... I was down there Saturday, and the thing I was trying to do that I talked about on last week's show was to change the serpentine and the stretch AC belt on my Mazda.
Right.
And the SERP is easy because it is a tensioner, but the stretch belt, Gates sold and supplied the tool, like a shoehorn ramp tool, to put the belt on, which did not work in my case. It was not correct for my application, even though it was listed as such. Gates still hasn't gotten back to me yet, so they're going to get a follow-up. So you and I went down there. We looked at some YouTube videos separately and saw that some guy said you could zip tie the belt to the pulley and put it on that way, and we had some success. Then we were like one tooth off on the AC clutch, right?
Right. Yeah. There was different permutations over there until we figured out the right way to do it.
Then weaseled that, and then it was one tooth off on the crank pulley. So that bounced around for a few revolutions.
Right. Yeah, until we got the geometry right. Yeah.
I was hearing number nine.
That Greek guy Archimedes from the diner down the block. He was very helpful there. You know.
So his principles. Yeah.
We have to to say something about that. But it just took a little while, and I want to commend. Actually, I'm going to commend myself because I just wanted to take that big stinking pry bar and just because I see that at certain shops who are nameless.
I know, but you got to be careful with it. You got crank and AC pulleys, which are delicate. You have you have a serpentine belt.
You got the crank sensor hanging out in the breeze.
Yeah, which is right there, right?
But you were the MacGyver of the day with that piece of plastic there that you cut to fit and we made our own AC installation tool. Actually, no, you made your own AC installation tool.
Again, we kind of brainstormed it and said, we need a ramp to make this thing kind of... you thought of putting something in the groove. I forget what it was that you had mentioned. And I said, all right, how about...
It was like a B-flat bass line on it.
There you go. You can take a flat wound
guitar string there, yeah.
So I went to the junk bucket that's there, and I just rooted through it and found a couple of pieces. So one of them was this hunk of plastic and said, hey, let's try it. What do we got to lose? So we just trimmed it with a pair of tin snips until it fit the width of the pulley, and used that to actually ramp that belt on, and it worked like a charm. If we would have done that in the beginning, we could have saved ourselves an hour.
And the you do that would have been the equivalent of hold my beer.
Right. Well, it could have been like from the rings from the 6-pack. I don't know.
But it shouldn't have been that freaking hard.
It shouldn't have.
Now, if a certain belt company that will remain nameless.
Gates? You mean them?
You forgot to close that when you before otherwise the dog was going to get out.
Yeah.
If that would have had the correct tool, which we determined after looking at a couple other articles and videos, that would have been a slightly different diameter. It would have been a piece of cake. However,
exactly.
These things do happen. As someone who is involved in writing instruction sheets and gets acrimonious phone calls from buyers of my company's parts, something slips through the cracks every now and again. They might have checked one application and assumed it fit another application. Maybe that would work on a different Mazda.
I don't know.
Or a different year or something like that. And yours got kind of tossed into the mix. You know what I mean? They didn't actually test fit it on your particular year model vehicle.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's why I sent them a very detailed email.
Yes.
Right? Because I know, and I do that anyway, but I know especially from the experience I've had with you and see the things you get on through the line.
Yes, Ray gets to get a glimpse of my life every now and again.
It's great. Because, and I know, and I've always been that way. I believe if you're going to send the company information, be it positive or negative, be detailed. Let them know exactly what you're talking about, because the guy on the other end doesn't know what you're talking about. So, give them the right information, and then they can maybe help to get your problem solved, or at least understand what you're saying.
And sometimes the answer might just be, and I've done this a number of times. It's like, look, we don't have an answer for you right now. Something like this normally takes blah 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 amount of time, a day, 2 days, a week. So, just in case you're sitting by the phone or waiting for your email to pop up, it ain't happening.
A good thing I wasn't waiting.
Yeah, exactly. At least either it's like hold my beer, make a tool or something like that. Right. But it does happen.
Well, the answer that sometimes comes through your company is like, don't go away, man. Just go away. Or permutations thereof.
Yes. I mean, there are some times that you just can't...
You had one this week that was really cool. I mean, the guy, I understand the frustration, but you shouldn't be cursing in the email to the company about the part.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, my monitor started peeling.
You want to get fast service? Well, you'll get noticed fast, but you know what? That's not the way to get real...
Yeah,
who wants to deal with that guy?
Bottom line, when it comes to parts companies, and I think I could speak because I myself have I have dealings with other companies, either on a private level or on a business level, that they want to straighten you out. They don't want a bad reputation.
Of course not.
They want you to come back and buy more of their products for whatever reason.
They're in business. Right?
That's what it is. It'd be kind of like walking into a local store and the proprietor handing you a bad attitude.
Yeah,
it's like, here, I know this burger ain't cooked. I know this burger is still mooing, but tough. Take it or don't take it. Get out of here.
Right. Okay.
You ain't going back there again, right? So it's the same thing. They want to help, and and the other thing about it is that next time around, maybe changes will be made, which on that particular item that you had a problem with, maybe won't help you,
right?
But it'll help the next guy, and maybe one.
Well,
you know,
yeah,
that's
I mean,
the thing.
you know, my belt is installed, so my problem is solved.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, but you're right, you know, help the next guy, and hopefully, you know, it goes the other way. Next time that I do that and use a recommendation to buy a tool or something, maybe the guy before me or two guys before me had the problem and it got straightened out.
Well, we had that. I had that one. The guy with the hydraulic brake light switch that.
Right.
And
that's right. Big problem too with that, right?
I didn't really even know that you know who this guy was. And he told me his problem, and I said, "Look, send me the switch. Let me see it. You know, don't send. You know, because hydraulic brake switches on older vehicles it equals no brakes equal,
leak
equal death. Big body work bills, stuff like that. So we take that stuff real serious.
Sure.
So I bought it. I bought it back and I analyzed the switch. And in the process, I sent him one out of stock so he can get his car back on the road. Turns out the guy writes for a magazine. It's called Skin Knuckles. It's out of California. It's pretty cool. He sent me a copy of it. And boy, you talk about guys. It's mainly antique stuff. And by antique, I'm talking even older than us.
Oh, okay.
Even older.
Wow, that's good.
But as far as that goes. It's pretty cool. So if you poke around and you see that, it's Skin Knuckles magazine.
Skin Knuckles magazine, very good.
And the guy, once he realized who he was dealing with, because I even said to him, look, as a fellow old car guy, I know what you mean. I feel your pain.
When I read that you wrote to him, I said, you know what? As I put myself in the position of being him, reading that and saying, okay, this is the guy I wanted to get a hold of at that company because he understands.
Right.
My situation.
Exactly, and there are other, like I said, there are other companies, other guys like that, and the thing is that when you want help from one of these companies and you write them an email or make a phone call or whatever, at least in the beginning, start by
a little humble,
little humble, or ask your question, in a way that it's like, I got a bad part. It's more like, what is it? What it is that happened to you? What's the part number? Oh, I can't tell you how many times. Oh, I got a coil here that's no good. I'm like, so what are you driving?
Right.
Is it a Maserati or is it a Corvair? You know what I mean? So I can't even look up to see what it is. And so
like I said, I've always followed the dictum. I like to be very inclusive and logical in my
right.
Information, data is key.
Questioning my ancestry,
right,
or the number of opposable thumbs I possess is not going to help your case.
At least not from the beginning.
Delete button. No, no, we don't do that. But basically, I could equate this to going to a parts store. Not that people really go into real parts stores anymore. Not that there are many of them out there. But you would year, make, model. What kind of part is it? Oh, it's not that thing on the side of the. It's not that thing on the side of the other thing. Where you pour the green stuff in.
I've actually heard people say, what year's your car? It's the blue one. Like, the blue year, yeah.
Yeah, or like some people are like, well, let's see. My son Bobby was 2 when I bought it.
I was working at.
He's 9 now, and who needs it? No,
right.
It's written on the friggin' registration sticker on the window. Exactly. Come on, tell me that, and walk around the trunk and read the nameplate on the back. And, because it's either that or I'm going to have to guess.
Right.
And you don't want me to guess.
No.
All right. It's the same, and it's the same thing with the with trying to get help with something. And because sometimes there are. There could be a known problem. It's like, hey, we do have that listed wrong. What you really need, it's not this part number. You need that part number.
Yeah.
And the internet hasn't been refreshed yet or whatever. And so, and that's the thing too about talking to live people too. It's some of those, press 1 for this problem, or just click something on a website doesn't really necessarily. Doesn't really necessarily help. So basically, you want to try human contact if at all possible.
Tell you what we're going to do. We are going to click on something. We're going to take a break. We'll click on these cool buttons here on the board, and we'll get to our truck driving sides, whatever that is. And we'll be back with more Motor Mouth Radio.
About not being able to drive a truck after the break.
Yeah, more Motor Mouth Radio with your host, Ray Guarino and Joe D. Keep it where you got it, and let's enjoy some more of Joe's great slide work. Let's see if he can pull this one off on Motor Mouth Radio.